to give dawah to get over it. You can tell them that. Tell them, yes, your atrocities that you are suffering then 400 years ago. What, 100 years ago? It was the 60s, 70s. Well, the water hoses was just 70s, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so 2-3 years ago, the stuff that you suffered and the stuff that we just saw on the news the other day. Look at them kids killed in Uvalde, man. How many were white?
None.
That's why you don't have an NRA uproar. Mm-hmm. If them kids would have been white, what happened when the white kids got killed? Was it
Sandy Hook? Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook. Okay,
Sandy Hook.
So Sandy Hook. They said white kids in Sandy Hook got killed. Yeah. Even the name sounds white. Yeah. So they say Sandy Hook. The white kids got killed. They didn't even show the bodies because they didn't want the outrage. They let the conspiracy theories go forward that possibly it was staged. Possibly it was a red. What do they call it? Red flag. False flag. A false flag event. They let
a red flag. A false flag.
They let the false flag theory fly just to calm people from talking about gun control. You know, and that's a panel we're gonna have to have. I really wish that we had brothers that understood the subject, but we have to have a panel about the tools of society. Do they actually matter? Do they actually matter? The tools of society. Does that play a role? Could that boy in Uvalde done the same damage with a knife? But he had two AR-15s
and another handgun, as I understand,
that he could not afford.
Right. Yeah, that was the other question.
They did the tally. They did the tally.
$9,000.
Almost $10,000. Almost $10,000. He couldn't afford that.
Where did he get the credit? Funded him. Yeah, who paid him?
So maybe one white kid died. Any child that died is a tragedy, you know. But maybe one white kid died, but mostly Mexican kids. You know what I'm saying? So nobody was in a rush to go into that. Man, well, if it had been a little white kid up in there, Rambo. But anyway, this is the point that I'm making. We as Muslims, when you're not fit for the dawah, if you can't understand the pain and the trauma of individuals because they're dark. And if you attack critical race theory just because, one brother said critical race theory just promoting the LG HD TV. I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard that part of their agenda. I haven't heard that as part of their agenda. Now, LG HD TV usually latch on to everything.
Yeah.
You know? And black folks said, we want reparations. They said, we want moisturizer. What do they call it? We want lubricant. Every time we demand reparations, we need painkillers that target the butt. say it's remind me of a joke. Paul Mooney.
Oh boy.
Paul.
He told it like it was.
Paul Mooney said this black dude broke into this convent with these nuns, right? And you got the head nun. I don't know what she called her, madam.
Mother.
I can't say madam like she running the
house. Right.
Anyway, so this head nun, the black dude broke in, took off his clothes, and the other nuns put her behind and took out a knife and said, "Where you want us to cut? Where you want us to start cutting?" You know, she called her what? The madam, the mistress, the mother. Okay, they said, "Mother, where do you want us to start cutting?" She said, "Cut here and here."
Wow.
Wait. I'm sorry. Where did she want them to cut again?
You don't get it?
It borked.
The black dude
it borked on me, so it
okay, the black dude broke into a convent with a bunch of nuns, right? And the head nun is called the mother, right?
Yeah, got that part.
So,
got that
black
part.
dude, he was finna get the graping, so he took off his clothes, butt naked, right? And one of the nuns took out a knife and said, "Mother, where do you want us to start cutting?" She said, "Here and here." You don't get it?
Oh, goodness.
She wanted to make her mouth bigger.
Woo, man. That I do get that. I get it. Yeah, I got that one. Oh God, have mercy.
Sadiq be going off
Woo!
sometime, brother Black Man. You get to know him. He get on a roll with these jokes.
Uh,
Sometimes he
yeah.
can't stop.
Yeah.
Keep it moving, brother. Come on, come on.
Yeah. See, you can put a Muslim. You can put a Muslim in San Antonio, but you can't take the San Antonio out the Muslim.
That's him. That's
Oh
him. You
my
got him. You got him right
God.
there. That's him.
So
Wow.
anyway, alhamdulillah. Yeah.
All
So
right.
so, so oh,
Come
Paul
on,
Mooney,
brother.
man.
Come on, brother.
Yeah. But
Keep
anyway,
it moving.
say, but no, this is the point, man. So, like I said, we are Muslim. We're not going to follow anybody's agenda, anybody's structure. We have our own struggles. We have enough ills in the ummah to be crying over somebody else. You know what I'm saying, uh, if you don't see it that way, then I welcome you to Islam one day. But the point is that uh, this white superiority under the guise of capitalism, under the guise of kufr, you know, this right here is affecting Muslims to the point where we don't even sympathize with the oppressed if they don't look like us, sound like us, eat the same spices that we eat. You know what I'm saying? If they don't put as much virgin olive oil on their lamb, we don't sympathize with them. Or we sympathize
Mm.
with the convenience store owner, but not the ones outside hustling on the street corner. You know what I'm saying? The police pull up, the convenience store owner don't
Yeah.
run to the back room. He don't run to the cooler. He stays right on the front. Welcome to liquor and pork, liquor, pork and gamble.
Convenience store.
Yeah. Stop
Mhm.
liquor, pork and gamble. Welcome here. So this is the issue that we have. It's the viewpoint of Muslims not pushing the viewpoint and carrying the agenda of the oppressor,
They got to know the viewpoint.
carrying the viewpoint and the agenda of the oppressor under the guise that Salam Alaikum, under the Salam Alaikum guise. That's why when critical race theory, some people they ain't even studied it. They heard about it.
Jump on the
They,
back.
they already off of it. They
Yeah.
off of it. And a lot of African American Muslims jumped on it.
Jumped
We're
on
going
it.
to support this. I don't care if there's another side to it or a part that disagrees with Islam.
You know
I'm
it's
going to
right.
jump in on it. You know why? Because we don't have our own agenda.
Yeah.
Muhammad Sallam didn't jump on anybody's agenda. He had his own structure,
Own
our
agenda.
own being. We acted as an entity addressing a society, which is the entity to be addressed.
That's an excellent point, just that right there. What was his? Muslims don't even know what was his agenda. Muslims don't even know that.
Yeah.
That's a basic.
Yeah.
What was his agenda? They don't even know that.
Inshallah,
SubhanAllah.
we'll continue to discuss that agenda so people can
Inshallah, we'll
know.
revisit it. Alhamdulillah.
Anyway, any last words, Yaqi?
When they, to be honest, because of the way that they can't sympathize with those who are different from them, especially those who are darker, they have given anti-dawah. All of the work that we're doing to tell people that the solution is in Islam, they've undone, and that's part of why I'm so harsh on them now. And I tolerate no sympathy for the Western European diaspora in them. I mean, if they sympathize with the Western European diaspora, I start to doubt their faith. I don't go straight to calling them disbelievers, but that's where my doubts start, and it's because they're teaching other people not to accept Islam. We have many apostates just amongst our own racial population, amongst African Americans. We got quite a few apostates. We got people that come in and they go out. And to be honest with you, there are a bunch of reasons that people give for leaving. And I do believe that oftentimes it comes down to the fact that people don't want to exercise discipline, especially self-discipline. I think that there's the part of them that just wants to go back to drinking, sleeping late, fornicating. But by the same token, there was a time when they looked at these things and they said there's something worth for which it's worth it to give all of this up. And honestly, the Muslims who don't sympathize with those that are darker than them and different than them are part of that problem. They do have their share of the blame, as you said. You participate in something bad, you have the weight of that. And so we got Muslims out here pushing people out of the faith because of their viewpoints, because they come with not only a refusal to help with the wounds, but they're actually coming with the same things that irritate those wounds. They're not just, when they say get over it, they're behaving in such a way as to pour salt on the same wounds. So if Master whooped our backs and we got scars on our backs and the backs are sore from those wounds, they're not just coming in and saying get over it. They're coming in and they're pouring salt on the wound. And they're swinging the whip again too. They got a whip in their left hand. We just waiting on them to put it in their dominant hand and start swinging again, because they sympathize largely because a lot of times, quiet as it's kept, they identify themselves as specifically white. Arabs do. If for Arabs, if you're not black, you're white. They identify themselves as white. Now they know they're not European, but they identify themselves as white if they're not visibly black, uncontroversially. And so there are times you have to say to them, in that racial conflict in America, we are the Palestinians, they're the Israelis. You got to tell them this sometimes, because while they're capable of some level of sympathy, they're still not capable of understanding that in the racial conflict in America and in Africa, black is right, white is wrong. It's that simple. They can see it that simply when it's Palestine and Israel. And mind you, most Arabs don't even like Palestinians that much. They just believe that what Palestinians are going through is inhumane, wrong, and barbaric. But so therefore they can sympathize without even liking them that much. When it comes to us, all of a sudden it goes out the window. They keep wanting to put the blame on us. And that's why it is that I want us to start calling their faith into question. I want us to start saying to them, how do I know you Muslim if you can't even tell the difference between right and wrong? You're going to take something wrong and say it's right, and you're going to take a right reaction against it and say that's wrong. You change the definition of what's right and wrong. You're calling Allah a racist. How are you still a Muslim?
Astaghfirullah.
Well, I've already been doing that. I'm telling you, I was walking into the Islamic Center. This Arab brother was out front. It could have been Majnoon. I don't know. I've seen him before. And he's like, Arabs are the best. Arabs are the best. I say, Arabs are the best. He said, yes. I say, why y'all getting y'all ASS handed to y'all all over Palestine?
What'd he say? No.
I say, obviously being Arab is not enough. Y'all can't defeat a fistful of Jews. You know what I'm saying? A fistful of Zionists. I say you need to start thinking as an ummah, so we can all join together and alleviate these wrongs and this oppression. But if you're thinking as an Arab, you can't even whip me. I told him you can't even whip me.
And no, he cannot. And in all honesty, I think that in all honesty, I think that we need to start driving some of them out of the African continent. Not so much for being Arab, but when they have this sort of mindset, I think we need to kick them off the continent, starting in the north. What are your views on black folks? The minute they say something that's anti-black, even if it's subconscious, kick them off and make them swim to France if they're white and they can get that visa. Because white countries give white diasporans visas easily. Yeah. They do that easily. You're white South African, you get a visa to the UK easily. They were talking about doing this when there was talk of retaking the land in South Africa. Trump and the Australian president said, we will give emergency visas based on whiteness to white South Africans. Yeah. Now that's against the U.S. law to assign visas based on race. You can have many criteria, but race is not supposed to be one of them. The economy of the country is how they get around that. But he was pretty much talking about doing something that's not even legal, and nobody was going to check him for it, because how do you enforce U.S. law on a U.S. embassy abroad? So he was going to do that, just to say that they are in fact together. And I'm just beginning to think that maybe we need to start putting them out the continent, go into the north and tell them, okay, so you got a problem with us? Get off our land. This ain't yours. Because this really is right now. I'm not saying it's the only idol. I'm just saying that right now, this is the leading idol. And it does come under kufr, but this is the main form of kufr right now. And a lot of Muslims fell victim to it. And I really do think it's time we just start telling them, maybe you should be enslaved to us. Maybe we should own you then. Why don't you put these handcuffs on? Start smashing some of them, start punching some in the jaws, body slamming, kicking some of them in their chest. Not because they're not black, I'm not saying that. But when they say something that is racist and you can prove that it's about race, even if they don't realize they're doing it, because it really is bad amongst a lot of them. And the thing is this, when they move to the United States, they get worse, not better.
Well, I don't
exposure to us.
I understand the sentiment, but I don't think violence helps them or the situation. I understand that used to be my before I started studying Ahmadiyya. That was my go-to. Anybody say something bad about Islam, this, that, they get hit right in their mouth. I'm saying that was my reputation. But when a brother from Bangladesh, actually Zubair Fatani, gave me, he said, "I'm gonna give you some books. If I give them to you, don't use them to start problems." He said, "I want you to study it. Once you've finished studying it, give it back to me. I'll give you another one." And that was my series of going through Ahmadiyya. Actually being the lie helped me to stop fighting so much. So yeah, I actually stopped fighting a couple of meetings with the Umar too. They said, man, you make us look bad. Anyway, but the issue was that, you know, I understand the sentiment, but I don't think the fighting would help. I think that we should shut down their businesses, definitely. Shut them down. You know what I'm saying? Let the
to
Asian,
to
let the
do that.
Chinese or the Korean dude, you know, let them have the business there. Matter of fact, shut them down, open it up yourself, devoid of the poison. But the poison is what makes the money. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? But I would shut them down just like you shut down Korean store owners that cause fitna and calling the police and they call the police which cause deaths in the neighborhood, you know, and stuff like. I think there's a thing to do, but none of that is solution. It's just reaction.
Band-Aid.
Not even a band. It's not even a band-aid.
Okay.
It's not even a band-aid.
Mhm.
I mean, at least a band-aid has purpose of shielding the wound, you know,
Mhm.
for it to heal so that impurities won't enter.
Mhm.
You know, that's not a band-aid. It's actually a snapback. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Police come
It's
in.
another wound.
Yeah. Police come in and beat down somebody for loitering or soliciting outside the store or getting into it with the store owner. Shut that sucker down. Shut that sucker down and say, look, you can't open back up until you build us a gym, until you build us this. I need you to start after school program where the kids don't have to be walking around latchkey in the house all scared until their parents get home. I need you to start something in the community. You know what I'm saying, you know, I mean, but
We shouldn't even accept that from them, in all honesty, because they're going to try to open it up with their conditions, and one of their conditions it's not going to be necessarily to our favor. They really are ignorant of what we go through, and on top of the ignorance, they really don't care. And as I stated, remember, once they get to the states over there with y'all, they get worse. So I probably was wrong for saying just haul off and hit them in the mouth. But we should shut them down unconditionally. I mean, I don't even think we should wait until somebody gets beat. We should just start shutting them down, just right off the bat. Wait
as
a minute, you
Muslims,
said you Muslim,
as
and you're
Muslims, we're
selling.
supposed to shut them down. We're supposed to disconnect the electricity, ruin the plumbing, make it unbearable. You know what I'm saying? It can't cool that beer without electricity. I mean, we got electricity in the hood.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Shut them down. It's poison. Forget the bread. They got bread other places. Go to Dollar General and get some bread. You know what I'm saying? Go to Family Dollar and get some bread. Dollar Tree, whatever. I'm just saying, like, shut them down on principle of the same principle you would run the house next door. If it was a trap house, you would want it out of your neighborhood because it's causing violence and unsavory folks across your lawn. You know what I'm saying? Right next to your house. Why would you want a convenience store there just because there's a nice sign and it's government permitted and it has a occupancy certificate? You know what I'm saying? Why? I don't understand it. I don't want the drug dealer in front of my house, and I don't want a convenience store in front of my house. I can do without you. They got Circle K. You know what I'm saying? They got Circle K if I need to go to a convenience store. I don't have to have the one in the hood selling pieces of Brillo and selling glass stems, bruh. Selling cut antennas. That's what they're selling, bro. They're selling the paraphernalia to smoke the dope that you don't want to do in front of your business selling.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And honestly, I would say that, yeah, as Muslims, we should boycott unconditionally. And we should be calling on other African Americans to just boycott them right off the bat. It shouldn't be too hard to do. I saw in 2019 when I went back, I was only back in the U.S. for about 3 weeks in 2019. That's about 3 years ago now. I remember my friends, my childhood friends, telling me they were saying all them Arabs are racist. They were saying there's not a business they own where they treat us as equals. And I asked them for evidence of this because I wasn't going to sit up and just take their word for it against any Muslim of any origin. And my friends weren't liars, but I needed to see that they knew what they were talking about. And sure enough, right next to a Popeyes, there was something similar to a 7-Eleven. And the guy was, in fact, I didn't ask him his religion, but he was an Arabic speaker because we spoke in Arabic for a little while. And as soon as an African American came in the store and spoke to him like he knew him, it was familiar. He said, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" Smiled at him, and then he whispered under his breath to me, "Loser." So I asked him, say, "Man, do you know him pretty well? Like y'all hang out or something?" He said, "No, but you can tell." And I said to him, "No, you just said you can't tell. You don't hang out with him, so you can't tell." I mean, granted, yeah, he's got on skinny jeans. I might have something to say about that because of my age. But what do you know about that? You see him and you call him a loser right off the bat. Why don't you say it at full volume if that's how you feel? I'll leave. Y'all can talk about it in private. But see, man, this is why it is that when I tell people that Islam is a solution, they don't want to hear it because it comes from somebody looking like you. And frankly, because I resemble the guy phenotypically, a lot of people don't want to hear it from me either. So there's a lot of dawah to our people I cannot give based on my resemblance to these folks because they've left such a bad taste in our mouths because they wanted to be rich before they were Muslim. And so I am thinking that we should not have a hard time telling other African Americans, let's just boycott them just based on the fact that they ain't
Other African Americans have a problem because they are the ones that are partaking in the poison. They are the ones that say, "I don't want to be Muslim because I don't want to leave my pork. I don't want to be Muslim because I don't want to stop drinking. I don't want to be Muslim because I love scratch off tickets." You know what I'm saying? So getting them, I'm saying just as Muslims themselves to other Muslims, we can actually change the munkar with our hands, without snitching on each other. Now, there's nothing to say that African American that helped you, that random dude is not going to snitch. You know what I'm saying? So that's the issue. And Brother Mahdi, he said, "Do you think kicking out drug dealers will only move the problem elsewhere instead of solving the problem? And isn't that whack-a-mole?" Of course it is. Siraj Wahhaj, one of his accolades was that he's the first person to lead the House of Congress in dua. He made dua for Kafirs to do kufr and to kill Muslims. "Oh Allah, please help them kill Muslims, help their bombs work better." I don't know what he said, but that's the equivalent. Of what
Basically,
he was saying. That's the equivalent. Why would you pray for these Kafirs to do kufr anyway? And they brag he was the first person. Man, it's like that's the first person to take it up the butt. So what's the point? Everybody's the first. You know what I'm saying the first person to stink. It's always the first. So what does that got to do? But anyway, the next thing he did, they say he chased around Masjid Taqwa within blocks and blocks, whatever, a block of blocks. He chased the drug dealers away. You think they stopped selling drugs? Like the brother said, whack-a-mole, they moved to another place. They bragged about that. Man, we cleaned up the neighborhood. No, you didn't. You think people stopped selling? Look, brother, first of all, I don't know what kind of, you walk up in our neighborhood, back when I used to hanging on the street, walk in my neighborhood wearing a bunch of thobes and kufis. Somebody, "Y'all can't sell drugs here no more." I don't know what they're doing in Brooklyn. Like, dude, you finna get up out of here.
Yeah.
You finna get up out of here. Real talk. You messing with the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Not only you messing with the money, this is our safe haven. This is our hood. It's our safe haven. Police, we have a shootout in this neighborhood. Police station is literally, Yahi. Well, I am not lying. No exaggeration. The police station is literally maybe 100 yards away from the neighborhood, like a football field away. We would shoot and shoot and shoot. The police would not come out there until the gunfire, maybe 30 minutes after the gunfire, then they will come out there. We were allowed to shoot, get in the cars, drive away. Police didn't stop us. Then they will come in and look for dead bodies. I'm telling you that's just what the reality is. So yes, it's whack-a-mole. And I don't think that just random African Americans should help because, see, the thing about it, we have an order from Allah. If you see Muhammad said, if you see a munkar, first try to change it with your hands. But if you cannot, then speak out against it. If you cannot, then hate it in your heart. And that is the weakest of faith. So I'm saying that we have an order from Allah Ta'ala. If you get just random African Americans that see the need to get rid of this store, most of them see the need to have that store. They don't want to put on bonnets, house coats, and fuzzy, filthy slippers and walk 2 blocks down the street, 3 blocks. They want to walk right across the street. You know what I'm saying? And this is the reality that we deal with. This is the reality. So I would not implore or ask for assistance from random Negroes. I would not.
Wouldn't get much help in that regard.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I would
would.
ask them to boycott. That's all. I'm with you in that. I wouldn't trust them with a secret and ask them to hold the information as a secret. We're not even supposed to trust any non-Muslim with things that are secretive to us. I was speaking more so in terms of just boycotting them
Yeah.
and just and telling them, look, this guy here, obviously that person is not supposed to be selling it according to what they themselves believe. And like you said, a lot of them ain't going to necessarily go along with it. But if you say to them, this guy, if you say to the African American that's not Muslim, this guy over here is an asalam fakum, at least in terms of his behavior, then that's more likely to carry
Pretty
some
good. I
weight.
heard that before.
Because
That's pretty
one
good.
thing that black folks,
Like,
I mean, it just goes back to one thing that most of us tend to hate as an ethnicity, not just as one religious group. We generally do hate double standards and hypocrisy. And so when you say to an African American that's not Muslim, this guy he is not following his own rules, and I know because we got the same set of rules, it's more likely to carry some weight, and they're more likely to say, okay, so he ain't supposed to be selling alcohol, he ain't supposed to be selling pork, he ain't supposed to be selling cigarettes. In that case, I don't even want to buy a Snickers bar from him. It's not a guarantee. It's just the best shot that we got. But now, as far as whatever you can do to change it with your hands, I'm certainly not going to sit up and say don't do it. And I'm not going to rat anybody out if I find out about them doing that.
Yeah, you know, as
I,
Muslims,
let me,
we have a principle of not snitching to kuffar on each other.
right.
right,
Al-Muslim akhul Muslim wa la yuzlimuhu wa la yuslimuhu. You know, the Muslim is a brother of the Muslim.
exactly.
He does not oppress him, nor does he turn him over or leave him with the oppressors. But the kuffar don't have that same standard. They put out some reward money. We want to know who burnt down this store. We want to know who disconnected the plumbing. We want to know who cut the electrical. You know, man, look, for a couple of dollars, you know, they might buy him what they bought Dylan Roof after he shot them 9 churchgoers. You know, they bought him Burger King.
Yeah.
They might give the Negro Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be
Yep.
really, really careful, man. Really, really careful. But like I said, I would keep it in house around the people that know, and I would not give up any information. You know, I mean, if that happened, because like I said, it's not just focus and attack. That's not going to solve anything. He'll open that store up somewhere else. And brothers might say, what about it harming his family? So you're gonna trade
Oh,
150 families
For that one.
for the comfort of his, when his car is haram, his house is haram, the clothes on that purse his wife got is haram. You know,
The income.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like again, well we're not gonna solve it here, but again, critical race theory is its own entity. Don't support anything from Kafirs wholesale, even if you feel like the subject is worthy of discussing. Let's discuss it in our own circles, in our own forums, the Islamic way. When it comes to get over it, we don't use that logic for anybody except the descendants of slaves. And that itself is racist. When I hear Muslims say get over it, it's a racist tendency. Islam had yet to cleanse that part of their heart and that part of their understanding. I'm not going to agree with you about get over it. If a person says, I'm not going to even look for a job because of, no, you got to go look for a job. If a person says, I'm not going to look for a job because of this, and that, then let's put that person on some type of trauma assistance. Let's get him some counseling, or him or her some counseling. Let's get them some resources, whatever, because they possibly did see roots and got traumatized. They possibly saw George Floyd with the knee on his neck for almost 9 minutes and got traumatized. You know, they possibly saw that. You cannot limit somebody's trauma when the Palestinian, whose family is dead and gone, still talks about the home that their parents used to live in that they never lived in because they living in Jordan right now, some other place. They still talk about that.
Rubble where you
Now, what if we start saying, get over it? You know Saddam, get over it. Shut up. I don't want to hear about that. You know, at least Saddam took Shahada, you know, in the face of death. He said, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. He about to say it twice and they hung him. They didn't want to hear it again. You know what I'm saying? At least he did that, you know. But like, I mean, Allah may not have you as fortunate to utter the kalimatain, the shahadatain before your death. I pray Allah Ta'ala makes me fortunate to do so. I don't want to die in my sleep.
Right. Amen.
I don't want to die in my sleep, man. That sounds like LG HD TV. 4K, USB,
Quick point to you, brother.
HDMI.
Quick point to you, brother, man. When you were talking about those the Muslims over there where you are, they just have blinders on, brother. They're just not seeing what you had been talking about earlier, and so they'd have to. I know if we give them as Muslims, we give them the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, you know, the path that you're following is incorrect, and take those blinders off. And I don't know, maybe it's not my call how, you know, we feel about it. Give them the chance to see the correct of what it should be. If they accept it, alhamdulillah. If not, then following along of what you've been talking about.
I don't even want so-called them, whoever them is. I don't want them to sympathize.
Right.
I want them to use their Islamic viewpoint. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to say all oppression is an atrocity.
No matter who it's against.
Yeah, no matter who it's against. Mm-hmm. And that some atrocities, oppressive atrocities, are still perpetuated to this day. You know what I'm saying? And that it all has to be addressed. It's not one oppression better than another. I know mathematically, one Jewish life is worth, what was that, 8 into 20, let's say 25 black lives. Because times 25, whatever they say the Jews got killed, times 25, you know, the Africans got killed just in the Middle Passages. Okay? Not to mention how many got killed here. Okay? So, I mean, and 50 million Russians died doing that same thing. So divide 6 million into 50. You see what I'm getting at? Mm-hmm. So that means 9 point whatever Russians is worth one Zionist life, a Jewish life at that time, right? So it's disproportionate. Yeah. They say Black Lives Matter. They say, oh Lord, they say, man, Michael Chase said, we just said matter. We didn't say better. He said, can we matter? You know what I'm saying? It's like black. I don't support Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know?
Like I said, got hijacked.
Yeah. Booty lesbian muff divers, or I want to BLM, whatever you want to call them. So, but then again, what I'm saying is that I don't support Black Lives Matter. But then when you say Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Well, we reached this point because all lives didn't matter.
Yeah.
So the kuffar who have no solution started Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They had no other solution. Even people like D.L. Hughley and other people like that understand the agenda behind Black Lives Matter say, I still got to support it because they do some good. They don't care about the bad that's done. They're trying to destroy the family structure. That's on their website. They want to destroy traditional family, husband, wife. You know, who going to reproduce? What y'all going to do? Keep stealing our kids in dark vans with no license plate? SubhanAllah, man. How many people I'm going to kill if they take my kids? I just don't know, bro. I'm out of there. I'm out of there. You take my kid, I'm out of there, bro. Real talk. But anyway, alhamdulillah. I think we went over our time, bro. It's probably Margaret there where you are now.
Margaret, let's see. No. It's in the morning time here.
Yeah. I know. I'm just teasing. But yeah, I appreciate you always coming on, Doc.
Glad to do it, and I wish I could have helped more this time. It's just that sometimes there was a delay because of the sound, and some things I couldn't hear, so I couldn't respond or contribute. Sorry about that.
That lapse is
well, you know, tomorrow, sister Amira Asha Wilson coming on, the Trinidad and Tobago sister. She's coming on, and we're gonna try. I promised them I'm gonna try to go at the men. You know, talk about the men. So we're talking about brothers with polygamous dreams and monogamous money, basically. You know, how you get a new fiance with no new finance. We'll talk about that. But
okay.
From the Islamic perspective, see, I'm gonna bring that out and be like, I'll make you back on the women again. No, I'm gonna focus on the brothers as much as I can. But hey, I can't conceal the truth to make anybody happy. You know, because that won't make me happy. They won't please my Lord. So, inshallah ta'ala. That's what we're doing tomorrow, subhanAllah. So, anyway, I appreciate you coming on, Akhi. Like I say, always, it makes my job easier. And I pray that somebody benefited from your words, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, I certainly benefited from yours, and I'm glad to do it. I appreciate you having me on and being patient. And Asad-Allah, I appreciate you being patient with my long-winded sermons.
Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone I said Ronald Reagan impregnated Nancy Reagan with a slingshot.
He goes again.
It's too late. I already shared the live stream.
Too late. No, brother. Good points you made, brother Beckman. Good to meet you over the internet, and look forward to hearing from you again. I listened to everything you said, brother. Appreciate it. Glad you came on.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
thank you, sir. Inshallah,
I
look forward to the next one.
Assalamu alaikum.
All right, assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, gentlemen. Take care.
Inshallah.
So we're gonna wrap it up. We got one more item to address.
Shaking my Muslim head.
What you got, brother?
Oh man, it's just so much stuff, man. Okay, so a sister, I shared it. I don't know if I shared it. I shared it on. I didn't share it in the group. I shared it online. But what happened was, alhamdulillah, shukran, Jawad, mashallah, for your compliment. But sister posted, she was smoking a hookah, no hijab, covered out, forehead. She had like an 8 head. Forehead is right here. Look, right here, you're dealing with 8. Okay, so she had an 8 head, and she's smoking on the hookah. And I said, "What is that?" I thought it could have been some more than drugs, or something could be drugs, whatever. So I said, "What is that?" And I was talking about her being uncovered, right? Because I'm not gonna speculate what's in the hookah, right. I'm not gonna. That's not my issue, and I don't think smoking tobacco is haram, whether it's in hookah form or whatever. I don't think it's haram, but I don't think it reaches the level of haram. I think the ayat they use, "Do not kill or destroy yourselves," had nothing to do with suicide. It was talking about something else. But based on the Asbab al-Nuzul. So anyway, so the sister is uncovered smoking, and she was just talking about some stuff about his brother. His brother talking about taking her, marrying her, but she want to make sure he threw with his ex-wife first. I said, well, it's not a requirement that he threw with his ex-wife before he marries you, or whatever. And why you want him through with his ex-wife? You don't even practice Islam consistently. Why? I think something wrong with him if he wants you. Why would just go and get him a nice kafir? But anyway, so with that being said, okay, I'm telling her, look, why are you uncovering yourself, exposed? So, all Muslims sin. I say it's not about all Muslims sinning. It's about you shamelessly sinning publicly. And I gave it a hadith. Muhammad said that all believers will be forgiven except those that sin openly.
I saw that.
Mujahireen, Mujahireen. So I told her that, and she said, well, I'm just the type of person, I don't hide mine. I say, and you're arrogant with it.
Yeah. Stuff.
Of course, some Muslims jumped in and started defending her and all that type of stuff. One person started quoting Tupac, talking about only God can judge her and stuff like that. So we go on and on with that. And it's amazing how Muslims, Allah says, enjoin right and forbid wrong. Not only we correct the correction, but we don't enjoy right and forbid wrong. We don't. We support wrong if it's somebody doing wrong that we like. We have no Islamic measurement. So I post, when the dawah becomes stagnant, it's time to move around.
Yeah.
When a person tells you, you ain't Allah, I said, who do you think revealed the Quran? They say, you, LOL. So I revealed Islam. How kufr, shirkish statement that you just made. I'm offended as one that submits to Allah Ta'ala, as a Muslim. I'm offended that you would say, I revealed Islam even as a joke. I'm offended. And the Muslims that come in and support us, like the same ones that supported Numan Khan or Ali Khan, what was the guy? I forgot the name.
I know. Brother had posted his name. Numan Ali Khan, yeah.
Yeah, so the same people that supported him, is they don't care about right and wrong. They care about who they like versus who they don't like. So you don't like me, So whatever kufr the shirk she's doing is
It's
cool.
fine.
Yeah. And it's really sad with Muslims, and this goes back to the topic. Muslims don't want to hear about race unless it's their race.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Everything's a crutch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything's a crutch except when it comes to their agenda. You know why? Because they don't have an Islamic agenda. That's the problem that we have. That's the problem that we have. So inshallah ta'ala, Omar Suleiman. Not Nuwan Ali Khan. It's Omar Suleiman. I'm
Okay.
Omar
Right.
Suleiman.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm constantly turning wheels, trying to correct myself. So I turned those wheels, and it was Omar Suleiman. So anyway, with the kufr stuff, the shirt. Anyway, so the whole point is that you Muslims, not just the ones that sin and sin openly and publicly and shamelessly and arrogantly, not just them, but you Muslims that support them are going to receive part of the punishment. There is no reward for you because you took the side of kufr. So you Muslims that support kufr and shirk and haram and all this type of stuff, we're shaking our Muslim head. Okay, we went well over time. I thought you about to start snoring over there, boy.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I got my tea. I'm good.
Yeah, so you got the tea from the corner store? Anyway, so
it's from HCB.
anyway,
I don't know how they are. But
thank you all for joining us and giving your feedback as always, Jawad.
Good comments
Brother
tonight.
Mahdi.
Yes. Mahdi's in LA,
mashallah,
right?
Yeah.
Some Lakin brothers.
Yeah,
sisters.
Giving their input. Sister Khadija that joined, Sister Danielle that joined. I know Habibati is looking.
Alhamdulillah.
She always in silence. She's stalking me.
Yes, what you want, right? Some Alaikum to the new sister, inshallah.
So, alhamdulillah. So, inshallah, next week we'll have Sister Danielle on, inshallah, if she's not too shy to do so. I told her she shouldn't come on camera initially.
Right.
I think that's best. Because she
speak.
says, I'm only nervous. I ain't nervous to be on camera. I'm nervous about the questions you're going to ask. She's nervous about the questions I'm going to ask. But I want it to be a lesson like we miss you too, Yahi. Brother Maddie said he misses us, mashallah.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing happening. Ain't no dawah happening here, bro. So stay where you are.
we try.
We trying.
We trying, brother. We trying to. We want to start moving. Physically
everybody want to study. Nobody want to do nothing. So
yeah, we trying to get to the stage of actually physically moving.
They collecting knowledge like donkeys, man. Inshallah, one day we'll start using it. Remember in the past we used to use it. We used to go address the shuyukh and go to conventions and lectures, and we used to really use it.
Yeah.
But now,
to get to that point.
We're back on the stagnant side of the game again. The 90s, man. We used to be rolling back in the 90s. Yeah.
Time to start moving.
So anyway, so with that being said, like I say, Sister Danielle, come on and she'll tell us why she became Muslim, so on and so forth. And it should be eye-opening because a lot of people, I saw a bright light and a dog bit me and a Muslim helped me wash the bite wound. And it was this handsome Pakistani brother I tried to get with. There's a whole bunch of,
Sister, be prepared if you're on.
A litany of
I'm going to tell you right now, be prepared for the jokes.
A litany of reasons to become Muslim. But Sister Shallah, she'll let y'all know why she became Muslim. And it may be enlightening to some.
Be prepared for the jokes.
That some indeed do become Muslim, through understanding and intelligently rational belief. Okay. So, and again, tomorrow is exactly, lastly, I'll mention this. The topic is, and Jawad, inshallah, I will not forget DDP. I'll continue to look at the comments because I forgot it and I canceled it. It was too much going on, nevertheless, okay? So I'm juggling the guests and things like that. So, inshallah, we'll get to the DDP tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala. But the topic is polygynous dreams with monogamous money. Versus monogamous money, fiance with no finance. So we're going to talk about that with Sister Amira Asha Wilson, inshallah, tomorrow. Thank you all for tuning in. May Allah Ta'ala bless you all, reward you all. Please like and share the video, and let's try to spread it if you feel that it benefits. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.